Alright, here I am back in working on the car. It's a bring your own cup to 7-Eleven Slurpee day. So I had a McDonald's cup with me. I filled actually it's a pretty good deal because I think the cup about this size at the 7-Eleven is about $2 already. It's only $1.50, so not bad. It's kind of watered down though. Anyway, besides that, let's get on to the business here. So the last we met, I was working on the timing belt, and here it is, still at top dead center. So today I got a couple hours, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to get all this this side of the engine buttoned up, so I can put the motor mount back on, and then yeah, when I do get the motor mount back on, I'll see what I can do about that cross member that was missing a bolt. Yeah, I don't like that. especially, come on, it's an all-wheel drive car. There's a lot of stress being put on the engine and the mounts, you know? This thing is a fucking grip monster, right? So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. What's that? It's like there's like a hole in the valve cover right here. It's weird. I don't think I quite have to repaint the valve cover yet. I'm okay with this because there's just a spark plug cover. So yeah, so that's the plan. Just to get this side all squared away. As you can see, I've got the timing belt cover on. I haven't tightened the bolts yet because I wanted to put anti-seize on them. And yeah, so I guess I can start putting the injectors on. Oh yeah, I was going to put the cover on. So the goal today is just to get everything on here. The alternator, power steering, the belts. What else? Hook up any kind of wiring and put the motor mount back on. So the engine is supporting itself again instead of being held up by 3 motor mounts. So yep, that's the goal. HadesOmega out for now. To add that I got some spark plugs today. Yeah, I didn't have any spark plugs. I can use the old spark plugs, but they look kind of like yucky, like corroded and everything for some reason. I don't know why. So here I got some BPR 7 ES Bravo. Bravo Papa Romeo 7 Echo Sierra NGK spark plugs, number 5534, 4 of them. So yeah, I'm gonna install these bad boys. These are one step colder. These are the most recommended spark plugs for the 4G63 engine. If you're running like a kind of modified 4G63, those are the plugs you want to use. They're one step colder than the stock. The stock is like a 6 ES. So yeah, I got these for a whopping $10 at AutoZone. So I just practically walked in and walked out. At least for once, AutoZone has something I need, right? All right. No, this cap looks like it's leaking. It still feels like it's kind of. This oil cap feels like it's leaking. Oh, the O-ring came off. I guess the O-ring is good because it came off. It's stuck on there. Anyway, yeah, we'll figure that out a lot later. Alright, so I'll probably get them spark plugs in there too, so I don't have to keep on putting stuff over the spark plug holes. I'm hoping that there's nothing wrong with those threads. I'm hoping. I didn't verify that. Well, we'll see. Good old bottle of anti-seize out here. I mean, since I got such a big bottle, I might as well use it, right? So what I'm doing is I'm putting anti-seize on all these little timing belt cover bolts. So just in case I want to take it out, it's not going to be very difficult later. You know, I highly doubt that these will get seized or whatever. So, but hey, it's good to have something on there. I'm sure these will stay on there. Yeah. But yeah, it's always good to put anti-seize on some of your bolts. Like stuff that you don't want to back out, maybe you don't, you know. But like spark plugs, you definitely want to put them on there. You don't want to be taking your threads out with you. Yeah, so it's always good to put anti-seize on your bolts. Especially like suspension bolts. Alright, HadesOmega. So let's see here. So I got most of the bolts in. That's good. So this hard one to get to, I found the perfect tool to use. You got to use this little breaker bar tool to get this one that's behind the water pump is very hard to get to. So you use I got this from Japan. I don't really know where else you can get this, but it's like a little breaker bar that's for a 1/4 inch sockets. It comes in a little kit with all the other, you know, the common size 1/4 inch sockets. So I got this at a 100 yen store, or a 100 yen store, and there you go, man. I've used it a couple times this time working on this to get those hard to reach little bolts and stuff, and it's great. I love this tool, man. I wish I had bought like 10 more of them, because they don't have them at the Daisos here. I think maybe once in the blue moon they might have something like this. So if you see something at a Daiso and you like it, buy it. Buy a lot of it, because you may not see it again. So alright, so I think I have one more hiding in the back here somewhere, and that'll be it. I'm done with the cover. So I got all the timing belt cover bolts in there. This one is kind of a pain in the ass because it's not right. It's like a little bit too lower than the timing belt cover. I don't know why, but this one has to be longer so the top cover can go back on. And another thing is I can't find the top cover. I don't know where I put it. Maybe when it gets a little cooler I'll tear through the car. But so next, on to the next task. I'll put this power steering pump bracket back in right over there ish. So exciting. Well, let's get it done. Brackets in there. Oh, you know what? I didn't even tighten them down. I just hand tighten them. I better like really tighten them down. But yeah, so I went and found the power steering pump bolts that are there. I had taped them together, so yeah, very organized. I like it. So let me go tighten all these down, tighten that down. I'll probably start putting the crank pulley on next. Bracket bolts are about 30 foot-pounds, so I'm gonna go and torque them down. I haven't torqued any of these cover bolts. They're just small bolts. I just tighten them until they stop moving and just snug a little bit. So that should be good enough for them. This one kind of needs to be torqued, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. 30 foot-pounds. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm at the point where we're gonna put these pulleys back onto the water pump, and I don't know. I don't remember the order that they go in there, because I just had them like this. They're like taped together, and I put the bolts in there. But yeah, I don't know if the small one goes first or the big one goes first. Well, the small one goes first, according to this diagram. It took me a minute to find it. Yeah, 17 foot-pounds. We'll see. I don't even know if I would be able to torque that. Yeah, I probably could if I get something to hold down one of the other bolts. So there that is. So I got to put the small one in first, and then put the big one on top of it. Got it. Basically the way it is right now. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of room to work with that pulley. Basically what I had to do, I mean, with this power steering line in the way, it makes it a little hard, but it's not really that much in the way. So what I had to do is go underneath this power steering thing and slip it in. So I got it in there. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna get the screws in there. Yep. Yeah, they don't give you a whole lot of room to work with. Pulley bolts in there. It wasn't too hard. I was able to actually, with these gloves, I was able to hold the pulley pretty tight. Next order of business is this crank pulley. Man, I just picked up the harmonic balancer and picked this one up. It's so much lighter than that, and it's a lot prettier looking too. So I'm gonna go ahead and move these bolts over, and I'm gonna go ahead and install it. So there's a little it's kind of like a keyway mark here. I mean, it tells you how to put it on properly, because you need this to set timing. And I'm just wondering, where is all the timing marks on this guy? Yeah, I should just make sure they match up, right? Right here. So it's about on this bolt right here. So if I situate these in the same place, it should be in the same place. So this one's a little bit off. It's odd. I wonder if I'm going to be able to use this or not. It's a good question. Plus, I would think the notch should be on the outside, right? Yeah, maybe I better go look that up on the internet first. Yeah. I went again and lined it up as good as I could from the top by just looking at the holes, and they do in fact line up. What worries me is that this one here doesn't have there's not a cutout on the outside. It's only on the inside, but maybe that's okay. I don't know. Let's make sure to mark that with something. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be kind of hard to see that. Yeah. You probably have to mark it with the black pen then. All right. Weird thing I'm beginning to notice is see how the timing belt here is exposed down here. I kind of don't like that, and it's not supposed to be exposed to anything, right? And it's at the bottom too. This is where all the dirt goes, you know? Way to go, Mitsubishi. I guess they're thinking that the pulley is gonna keep most of that dirt out. And well, my pulley has holes in it now, so I don't know. I'll show you what it looks like when it's on there, and I'll show you something, another interesting thing. So the weird thing is, yeah, so you can see through the holes. You can see the belt there. That's what I noticed immediately. And another thing I noticed is this. Check this out. See, there's some play. I mean, it's only hand tight right now, but there's some play in there. And you know, the bolts don't totally perfectly line up. Maybe it's not as good as a pulley as I thought it was, but see the little key here, or where you're supposed to align it to the pin, is oval, where on the stock one it's round. So I don't know why they made it oval when they should have made it round. It's so now there's a little bit of play in there, so I don't like that. Just a little bit, but it might be enough where, like, hey, if you're putting a lot of power through the engine, it may strip that key off, and you'll have a bad day. Well, no, I highly doubt it'll strip the key off, because really what holds it in are these bolts here. This is just to make sure, I guess it's just to make sure you don't install it wrong, but technically this could, no, it won't spin. It won't spin because you have 4 bolts, so I guess it should be fine. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky. But yeah, I don't like the way they did that, how they made it oval. They should have made it round like this one, so it fits in there tighter. I just don't like that. It's me overanalyzing things, you know. Alright, HadesOmega. I'm just gonna go torque these down, and so 18 foot-pounds. This pulley has to be torqued at. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do it at like 22, just for good measure. I think this one doesn't put down as much torque as it's saying, you know. Yeah, and it's got the anti-seize in there too, so should be fine. I think it should be pretty easy. It's on the crank. The crank doesn't move much. The timing belt's installed, so hopefully it'll be fine. Pulleys on there. Look at that, bling bling, so shiny, right? And it's just going to be covered up by the splash panel and the belts. You'll probably never see it again, unfortunately. If you want some bling bling for your engine bay, get some like cam gears and like the accessory pulleys. There you can see them more than the crank pulley. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and install the belts. Oh, look at this, a genuine Mitsubishi. It's a Mitsubishi belt. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it says Mitsubishi on it. Is Mitsubishi like a? It's 3 stars in a triangle, and there's a Mitsubishi logo on it. That's 3 diamonds, right? So what's the deal with that? Maybe Mitsubishi is just another subsidiary of Mitsubishi. For all you know, this belt probably goes on those Mitsubishi Fuso trucks and stuff. I don't know. Mitsubishi's a vast, very big company. Yeah, this is a other belt. So I'm going to go ahead and install these. Now would be the easiest time to install them because I have access to the bottom of the splash guard and the top right here before I put the motor mount. My conclusion is this motor mount sucks ass. I don't like it at all. I thought, like I said, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it looked like a pretty robust design, and it's totally not that. It gets in the way of fucking everything. I hate it. So that's my take on it. I thought it was a pretty cool motor mount, and I think it, for holding up the engine, it's great. For working on the engine, it's a piece of shit, dude. So I think I like the 2nd gen one much better. So it seems as if I've missed a motor mount bolt here. So it's a motor mount bolt that goes to the engine hook here, and Yeah, as you can see, it's right there. So what I'm having to do, it didn't quite line up. I don't know why. My best guess is that this is whole. It's connected by 3 of these exhaust manifold studs, and like when I put the bracket on, maybe it was like a little bit higher than normal or whatever. Maybe, I don't know, but it didn't line up. So like, instead of trying to move this around again, I hate for like the 4th time, I just went and got a grinder right here, and I ground it just enough so I can get a bolt in there, but it's still not quite enough. But so I'm having to nudge it with this wrench here to get it to push down a little bit. Now, it's not a very important bolt unless you're going to take the motor out. If I'm assuming that this is here, so if you wanted to lift it with the motor mount on the engine, if you're trying to pull the entire engine out, that's what that's for. Yeah, I'd imagine you don't need it if you're just going to pull the head like I did. So it's no big deal if I left it out, but being the perfectionist that I am, I will put it on. I'm not really a perfectionist, but I just got this bolt lying around, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some I'll put some copper anti-seize on this and stick it in there. So I pretty much got it in there. So now I'm running into other problems. So this is a special belt because the air conditioner was driven by this belt, and now it's not because there's no air conditioner. And so the previous owner used a smaller belt here, and if I tighten it all the way, it's still pretty loose, just enough where it might throw the belt, you know. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go to Winchester Auto right now and try to get a shorter belt. This sucks. Damn it, I wanted to get this side done. I'm almost done. All I have to do is put these belts back on and then put the motor mount back on, and I'm done. So what the hell, dude? I know, just alright, so we're just gonna have to, and another weird thing is, I don't know why this power steering pump will not go back farther than this anymore. I don't know why. See, look at how much more adjustment there is. It's only going maybe like a quarter of its total adjustment. But anyway, it's not, the problem is it's not tight enough too. Now maybe when I start tightening the bolts down, it might tighten a little bit, but nah. So what the hell, right? What is it hitting? I don't understand. No comprende. Yeah, there's nothing it's hitting. Oh shit. It's hitting this. It's the wire. The little sensor thing. I don't think I installed it wrong or anything. It looks like that's the way it's supposed to go, right? Shit, dude. I don't know what the deal is. So I don't know. Supposedly the story about this pump is from what the guy told me that I bought this car off of. He put a power steering rack in because the manual rack sucks. It just doesn't turn enough. It's not good for like a racing car or whatever. And the power steering was like much better. So he went and installed the power steering rack instead. But the problem is it doesn't fit on that mount, dude. What the hell? Yeah, that's what's hitting it. That's what's keeping it from moving. Good thing I didn't bust it off. So I don't know. But the problem is it's still not tight enough. So yeah, this is gonna be tricky, very tricky. I'm gonna have to get a belt that's like just the right size. But unfortunately, this one is not tight enough. That's not tight. It's definitely gonna come off. See? Yeah. See, if you can kind of like see if you can derail it, just like that. That's way too loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a smaller belt. I'll get one that's like 1 inch smaller or something, and I think that should be fine. Like, I mean, that will be okay. You see, it kind of moves on its own. And the funny thing is, it's not connected to the crank at all. The way this power steering pump moves is by the water pump only. The water pump, and then the alternator connected to the crank. So the crank drives the water pump drives the power steering pump. I believe you have air conditioning. If you have air conditioning, there's supposed to be like a tensioner pulley or something around here. I think. I don't know. I'm not really sure how it works. But, alright, so I guess I'm going to probably have to just stop here today. Maybe I'll try to get those, yeah, I think I'm just going to stop here today, and I'll try to get whatever I can. I'll get those spark plugs done and put the shields back on. And maybe I'll try to work on whatever I can over here. Maybe I'll put the valve cover on. Yeah, I guess I can't put this. I was hoping I'd be able to button this side up, get everything on there, and then finally I can be able to get the wheel and the splash guard back on there, but I don't think that's going to happen today. I got to go get this belt, and then my cousin's coming over. We got to go get a part for his car. So, yeah, not going to happen today. It's too bad. And yeah, right now it's an easy time to work on. Well, you know, I could probably just put the splash guard on, because you can pretty easily get the alternator belt in there. But it's a lot easier if you don't have the motor mount in, that's for sure. So, like I said, I'll just stick to that other plan. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to install these the bolts onto the heat shields for the turbo and everything. And I got these fancy pants fender washers. They're nice and big to hold the shields on. So let's see if that works good. And I'm gonna go put this on it, the copper anti-seize.